Hello, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to talk about sleep. So first, I want you to think about this. Have you ever had trouble sleeping? Why? What happened? How did you finally fall asleep? Please think about this before class so we can discuss. Okay? Great. Now, I want you to please read these sentences. Has this ever happened to you? Please pause the video and think about this. Okay? In my case, it has happened to me. Sometimes I sleep for 10 12 hours and I feel very tired the next day. Okay, great. Now read the sentences again. Do they mean the same? Why or why not? Yeah, they do mean the same. We are using a different word to connect the ideas, but they are meaning the same. So today, that's what we're going to look at. So I want you to please read the sentences. What are the pink words doing? Please pause the video and think about this. Okay, great. So if you notice, these are linkers, they are connectors, and they are helping us to contrast ideas. Now, you may notice that some of them go in the beginning of the sentence, in the middle, eh, or even like in the second sentence, maybe even at the end of one. So, what is the position of the pink words and what are they followed by? Please pause the video while you think about this and then come back. Okay, let's go ahead and check. So, guys, we're going to use although or even though in the first clause, followed by subject plus verb. Example, although I slept for 10 hours, comma, I still feel tired the next day. These two phrases, although and even though, go usually in the first clause. And the clauses are connected by a comma, like you notice here. Now, we use despite or in spite of plus our verb with ing, basically a gerund, or a noun. For example, despite sleeping for 10 hours, comma, I still feel tired the next day. In spite of sleeping for 10 hours, I still feel tired the next day. And again here, you connect the two clauses by a comma. Once again, despite and in spite of go in the beginning of the sentence. Great. Let's continue. Now, we're going to use however and strange as it may seem in the second clause. Okay? So here we are separating the two clauses by a period. And what we should write after however or strange as it may seem is the subject plus verb. For example, I slept for 10 hours. However, comma, I still felt tired the next day. I slept for 10 hours. Strange as it may seem, I still feel tired the next day. So if you notice after however or strange it may seem, I could write a comma, especially with however, and you could write a period if it is after strange as it may seem. Now notice that however could go at the end of the second clause as well. Okay? Now, we're going to use even though in the beginning of the first clause, followed by subject and verb. For example, even though I slept for 10 hours, comma, I still feel tired the next day. One more time, we're connecting the clauses with a comma. Great, let's continue. Now, we're going to be using the words yet and though like this. We're going to start with our first clause plus comma yet plus the second clause. I slept for 10 hours, comma, yet I still felt tired the next day. So here, the yet is helping us connect both ideas. Now, we can use though after a clause. For example, I slept for 10 hours. I still feel tired the next day, though. It is an option to put it at the end of the clause, or you could put it also in the middle of the clause. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and practice. Let's go to workbook page 36, exercise number 1. Here we're going to underline the correct alternative to complete the sentences. For example, letter A says, The average adult needs about 8 hours of sleep a night. Some studies, however, suggest that women need an hour more sleep than men. B. Eating dinner just before bed is not recommended. Eating a small snack can actually help you sleep. Should I use yet, do, or although? Yeah, that's right. We're going to use do. Now pause the video and work on the rest, please. Okay, great. We're going to check this in class. Now, go to student book page 95. Here we're going to rewrite the sentences using the words in parentheses. For example, letter A says, despite going to bed early, I was still groggy the next day, even though. Even though I went to bed early, comma, I was still groggy the next day. And here I use the verb went because I know that it's talking about the past because of the second clause. Pause the video and rewrite the other sentences, please. Okay? Excellent, guys. Let's continue. We're going to check in class. Now go back to your workbook, page 36, please. Here, work in exercise 2. It says, complete the news items with the words in the boxes. Please pause the video while you work on this. Okay? Great. We're going to check in class. Now, let's go back to our student book, page 95. Here, we're going to reorder the underlined words to make concessive clauses. Was as exhausted I couldn't get to sleep. Here, we don't have a capital letter to help us, but we're going to start with our adjective. Exhausted, as I was, comma, I couldn't get to sleep. How would you order B, C, and D? Please pause the video and work on this. Okay, great. Now let's go ahead and check in class. Okay, now I want you to complete these ideas. You can use any of the linkers that we're using. I keep oversleeping in the morning. Basically, I sleep more than what I have to. I'm always drowsy in the afternoon. I always wake up at 5 in the morning and can't get back to sleep. Try as I might, strange as it may seem, in spite of my efforts, please pause the video while you work on this. Okay? Great, guys. We're going to share